Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and I specifically want to talk about the Israel-Palestine conflict, but right out of the gate, right? Since this is such an extremely hot button topic, I'm going to try to be very careful as I proceed here. And I want to talk about something we can learn and something that's valuable, right? And I don't want to just kind of try to add to the heat on this topic because I know it's extremely hot button issue. So I want to proceed calmly, proceed carefully, and I'm inviting you to let me know if you think I've done that or if I haven't. But I think there's some things to learn here, right? One, I think, when we reach a point where we're talking about that something that is so contentious, right, um, that as we proceed forward, the discussion has value, right? And so what I want to talk about right now is the absolutely fantastic coverage by Slate Political Gabfest on the Israel-Palestine conflict, and how we, as Vivek Ramaswamy supporters, can support Vivek in a way that is meaningful and useful, and that makes us better political pundits, right? Because I know you guys are out there talking to your friends as well, right? And yeah, that makes us better political communicators, right? And better political action takers, all right? As we specifically take action and communicate to get Vivek Ramaswamy in a position to win in November of 2024. All right. So, Slate Political Gabfest. It's a brilliant, brilliant podcast. Emily Bazelon, John Dickerson, and David Plotz. Emily Bazelon and John Dickerson are Jewish. Both are Jewish, right? And so they said they didn't touch this either. They were like, "This is a hot potato." And they were like, "What are we going to say? Everybody's going to know what we're going to say, right?" And how would everybody know what they were going to say? Because they're Jewish, right? But no, there's something that trumps being Jewish, right? And that's being left, right? So David Plotz just pulled it out, and he's like, I didn't even want to talk about this because I didn't think I could say anything meaningful, right? And the reason why is I'm a liberal, I'm left. So you already know everything I'm going to say, right? But I'm also Jewish, right? And so you already know where I'm going to come down. I'm going to say I support Israel, right? Because I'm Jewish, right? And then I'm going to say, because I'm liberal, I'm going to put so many caveats on it that at the end of the day, none of what I'm saying will matter, right? So they're saying, hey, I'm Jewish, I support Israel. But then David Plotz is saying that. But then he's like, oh, but because I'm liberal, I support Palestine, which means that I want people to denigrate Netanyahu. I want Israel to do what they're going to do, right? But I want them to do it in my way. I don't want them to do it too hard. I want them to stop doing the thing when they've done it too much. I want them to make sure that as they're conducting this thing, that they also bring in people who are going to support the people who the thing is being done to, right? Like, and he listed it out. There's like so many caveats to what he was saying, and he's saying, so really at the end of the day, where I arrive is I'm supporting Palestine, but I'm supporting Israel, but I put so many caveats around it that are in support of Palestine that I'm in the middle. So why? So do I have anything useful to say, right? And Emily Bazelon concurred, right? And then John Dickerson said something that because he wasn't invested, I literally forgot. I can't even remember what he said, right? Because he didn't have any stakes, right? And that's another thing is John Dickerson was like, I don't really have any stakes in this, right? Because he was saying that he was essentially, there are two people who are Jewish who have incredible stakes on this issue, right? So what was really interesting was basically what they were doing is they were saying there are so many complexities around this, and we're trying to process all the complexities, and then complexities in making our decision on who we stand for. And then when we communicate who we stand for, there's so many caveats that by the time we're done talking, you can't tell who we stand for. And we're so in the middle that nothing we're saying really matters, right? That is fascinating to me. And so what is the lesson from that? And this is a very important lesson, right? We as political communicators, we as political action takers, and we're trying to communicate to the world that Vivek Ramaswamy is the best candidate that's ever been born, right, to win a 2024 U.S. presidential candidate, right, to be the U.S. presidential, to be U.S. president, 2024 U.S. president, right? And we're trying to say, and we're trying to tell people, hey, this is what you need to do to get in, to make sure you vote Vivek Ramaswamy for these reasons. But I think the lesson here is we take in all the complexity. We take in all the complexity, right? But we cannot process all the complexity, right? We have to use all the complexity to make a decision, and then we have to make a hard decision and stand for Israel or stand for Palestine, right? Don't stand in the middle. That is the lesson from Emily Bazelon and David Plotz. They were right, right? I love them to death. I listened to everything they had to say. They're right. They have so many caveats on their Israeli support, their Israel support, that it doesn't matter. Their support for them doesn't matter. And because they're saying flat out that I support Israel, you can't think that they actually support Palestine. So where we really land is you process all the complexity, but you take a real stand, right? I stand for Vivek Ramaswamy. I tell people to vote for him, and I'm going to vote for him, right? We process all the complexity, but our decision has to be rock solid simple. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I hear your opinion, please consider like, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.